Removing 8-week-old nails and putting on a new set. Let's send it. Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. If you've never been here before, hey, my name's Shavana. I'm a nail technician. Today we're going to do a fill on some nails that have grown out 8 weeks. I know. I never ever recommend my clients to go any longer than 4 weeks because it's just not healthy for the natural nail. But sometimes life just gets in the way and things aren't always workable, and that's okay. So the first thing that I do is I start off with my Piranha by Erica's ATA, and I do the removal of my product and the color. So I did embed these, so I am going to be filing off a lot more than I would be if I did on top application of my color. And as I've mentioned before, I do turn my e-file up to about 23,000 revolutions per minute. And the reason for this is because I want to pick up and remove the product. If you kind of think of it as like a cheese grater, you're going to be like picking the product up and it's going to be on the flutes, and the flutes are going to be kicking it away after that point. And that's just how this specific bit was designed. And a lot of different carbide bits that are meant for removal are designed like that. So if you keep the the e-file on a lower speed, what's going to happen is it's going to drag across the product rather than having enough momentum from your speed that it's able to pick it up and remove it. What I'm going to do in the future is film a side-by-side of what it looks like for you to have your bit on a slow speed versus a higher speed, and you'll see what I mean when we do that later on. Now, another tip that I have in doing removals, quick removals with very strong bits like this one, the Piranha, is to stay away from the very edges of your application, meaning, like, as you can see, I leave a little bit of a ledge of my color area there, which is where the part that you can see. And the reason why I do that is because of the fact that the bit is so intense and it so quickly takes it off. If I was to go up close to the edges of my application, I run the risk of it grabbing onto those edges and then pulling up and causing lifting where there wasn't any lifting to begin with. And that's a new lesson that I've recently learned myself, because I just want to get the product off as quickly as possible so that my client doesn't have to sit for too long. But what I was finding is that I was causing the lifting where there was no lifting to begin with, and I would say, what the heck's going on? What am I doing wrong here? And I actually got this tip from Liz from the Nail Hub, and she mentioned that the best thing to do is not go too close to the edges, and this prevents any sort of risk of, like I mentioned, causing any lifting that wasn't even there to begin with. So today I really wanted to focus on talking about allergies, because when I first started and I heard about allergies, I thought to myself, well, I mean, I'm not going to get allergic to gel. It sounds like the stupidest thing ever. It's like you think allergies and you think about the people that are allergic to nuts, or they're allergic to bees or something like that, but this is sort of a different thing. Basically, the way that it works is you develop these allergies, which we can talk about what happens with allergies later, but you develop these allergies by overexposure to chemicals in the product, in your gel products. So this happens by exposure to a mostly uncured product, and also the dust from doing the filing. So that is why every single time that I am working with nails, I do wear gloves, because the product from the filing is getting all over my fingers. Now, it is getting all over my client's fingers, but I am able to wipe those off and it doesn't stay on there for very long. The same with you inhaling them. That's why you need to be wearing a mask, and you need to have some kind of ventilation system that is absorbing those free flowing particles that are now up in the air. So as you can see, I have a whole vac system that's attached to my actual e-file. As well, I have a table system by Young Nails, which it's a great system. We can talk about that another time. But I have two different systems because I want to be able to pick up anything that's free flowing in the air so that it's not landing and staying on my client and it's not landing and staying on me as much as possible. Another way that you can avoid this if you are wanting to be extra careful is by getting your clients to wear the gloves and cutting off the fingertips like I did in one of my past videos for when I did a fill on myself. And when you're doing the application of your product, that's the reason why you need to be keeping the product away from the skin. You need to be keeping a margin all along the sidewalls and along your eponychium to prevent any kind of product from touching the skin. And you can't be like touching the product with your hands or touching your gel brushes and like forming them in certain ways with your fingers or something like that. And you can't be wiping away the inhibition layer and allowing the inhibition layer to get all up on their skin, all up on your skin, because it will lead to allergies from overexposure. And the reason for this, that it happens with the uncured product especially, is because the chemicals that are in the product, since they haven't had the chance to bond to each other and form that connection in order to make a hard surface like we look for when we are doing the gel, it's free flowing and it's tiny little molecules that are able to still be moving around. And they're so small that they're able to get onto our skin. They're able to get into our lungs and they're able to get into places in our bodies, and they are free to roam. Once they get in, they can do whatever they want. Now what happens is your skin will appear red, it will appear swollen and itchy and burning and sometimes scaly and rashy, and there's nothing that you can do about it. At that point, as soon as it was allowed to enter into your body, you are now allergic to that chemical. And any time that you want to use that product, you will experience this every time. Now it's happened to clients and it's happened to technicians as well. So for any technicians out there, just imagine not being able to go near a gel product, any kind of gel product, because now, since you've overexposed yourself to these chemicals in the past, now you are allergic to it. And there goes your career. And it doesn't even matter if you are applying the product only on your fingernail, because now your skin is so incredibly so incredibly sensitized to it that it knows that it's there and it's irritated just from being near it. So you'll see a lot of nails that have a lot of redness and clear irritation around them after application, and you know at that point that these nails and the skin is not happy and it has allergies now to the product that is on it. And this is why as technicians we need to be aware of what we're doing, and we need to constantly be educating ourselves on what is safe and the different techniques that we need to be using to keep our clients safe and ourselves safe as well. So we'll get back into the video here. I am showing you a little bit of how I do my shaping for round nails. So I start off on the corners, just getting every corner a little bit more diagonal, and then I do the other corner. And then after that point, once I've done both corners and they're quite even, I end up rounding it out from there, because then I find that it gives me a lot more of an even shape to the nails. And then even after you do that though, even after you end up evening it out and you look at it, what you want to do is turn your client's hand around so that you can get their view of the nails, because the view from your point looking at their nails head on is different than what they will see. And, you know, because they are your client and you want them to be super, super happy with what they got, you want to make sure that it looks good from their point of view. The thing that I recommend doing when filing a shape is to compare the nails to each other. So, like, you know, compare the pinkies to the pinkies, the middle nails to the middle nails, thumbs to thumbs, but also look at them from afar. Just take a little bit of a back up and look at them from afar so that they all look like they will be even. And one of the biggest mistakes that I made when it came to shaping when I first started was looking at the length of the nails and the shape of the nails from the person's natural free edge. And once you apply color, you don't really want to do that because it doesn't matter where the natural free edge is. If the nail bed is differently shaped or it has a different length than the nail next to it, it's going to look odd once you put that color on. So once you get your sort of side shapes down, the corners shaped down, I'm taking my file right now and I am beveling the edges. And the reason why I do this is two things. I want my ends of my nails to not be my nails, my client's nails to not be very thick. I want them to be one of the thinnest parts of the nail so that it's not, you know, like chiclet nails. And then the second reason why I bevel it and I do the filing of the ends of the nails is because I want to chalk it up a little bit, like get it nice and chalky so that I can see the full shape of what I'm going for. Because like I just mentioned, once you apply the color, the entire nail is going to be what takes shape. It's not going to be from the free edge on. So once that's all done and you're happy with your shape and you're ready to do your application, you're just going to cleanse off with some gel cleanser. I do make my own gel cleanser. I just find that it's a lot easier to make myself because that way I know that there isn't any additional products that are going to possibly lead to lifting. You know, a lot of these gel cleansers that are on the market, they put like fragrances and colors and things like that in it, and it's just not necessary at all. Now this specific client does have some issues with lifting, well, did have issues with lifting, so I am using a acid primer, and that's really helped for her. Definitely, she doesn't have too much lifting when she comes back. We do have to remember that there is a little bit of lifting on some of the nails. I think the pointer nails and a little bit on the thumbs for sure, but we have gone 8 weeks, so this is pretty incredible for her. It's definitely a big feat for sure. That's one of my best feelings, is when something's not really working out, and then I have to like trial and error this thing, and then all of a sudden they come back and we have lasting product, and it just makes me feel so good, makes me feel so happy for them. They finally got what they deserve, and I'm just so glad that we can make things work. Nothing's worse than wanting to get your nails done and then having them not last, and you don't really know what's wrong, you know? I mean, but at the same time, you know, everybody's nails are different, and that's why having a technician that gives a crap about your nails and wants to make it work for you is really the best thing. Because when it comes down to it, not everything works for everybody. So for her, the best thing for us to do, because I did find that she had some oily nail beds. So when you have a client that has oily nail beds, I have found the best thing is to cleanse twice. And then once you've cleansed, immediately apply your primer or get that first application of gel on, because if you wait any amount of time after that, then you run the risk of having those oils build back up again on the nail plate. And then any kind of oils that have already begun to build up are now going to lead to lifting. So you want to cleanse twice, get it nice and chalky, and then apply the product. You can even do it one by one. I was in a bit of a rush today, so we didn't do it one by one this time, but just to be safe, when you have oily bed nail clients, you can definitely do that. Do one by one, get that product into the lamp quickly and cure it out. Even just a quick little thin base coat would help. So today we were going for ocean vibes. She was going on a little vacay, going over to the island. So we wanted to get some island vibes, some ocean vibes going on. So we're doing some ocean nails. See what I'm doing there? See how I'm wiping off that nail? Don't do that. As my mother says, do as I say, not as I do. And the best thing to do with something like that is I have a cuticle pusher, and it has this little end on it that's meant to sort of scrape away the cuticle. And I use that little scrapey bit to clean up the sidewalls when any kind of product gets on there. That's usually what I do, but I don't know. I was not feeling it today. I was just rushing around and acting like a crazy person, so. But that's life, you know? I mean, a lot of times we make mistakes and we need to learn from them. And if we can learn from our mistakes before they have a huge effect on our lives, such as the allergies from the gel, then we should learn from them right now. Why not? So when I'm doing the ocean nails, I obviously applied the sort of aqua color as a base, and then I applied the glitters in a little swirly swoo, and I've taken my top coat and I applied my top coat and I did not cure it, and then I took some white gel and then I did little swirls into that top coat in order to blend them out and make them look like little waves in the nails. So now I'm going to be embedding everything, doing some finishing, top coating, and then I will be doing my application of cuticle oil and a massage for her. And then we're all done. There's a cute little clip that I wanted you guys to hear because it just makes me giggle, and I thought you'd have a fun time watching it too. She's always cracking me up.
Break those, man.
All right. Let's squeeze the fingers
The
together.
Whirlpool.
It's a whirlpool. Yeah.
The creepy voice.
It's a whirlpool. It's a whirlpool. It's a whirlpool. It's a whirlpool.
What was the sound from turning?
So here they are, some Whirlpool nails that for some reason shoot like guns from a video game. I don't know. But I just wanted to take this moment to thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more. See you next time. Bye.